What's going on, everybody? SSK here today, and I have another Marvel Tokon video for you guys, another discussion video. And today we have Shinkenso talking to us once again, and we have Zeta Slow here, our Grand Blue and Tokon guy as well. Glad to have you on board, both of y'all, to have this discussion with me about a very interesting Tokon topic for me right now. As some of y'all may know, Tokon, obviously the new big hot Marvel fighting game coming out, new hot fighting game coming out in general this year. People are looking forward to it and whatnot. But last year, around the time when Game Awards were coming up, and even I want to say before too, there was some rumors going around that Marvel vs. Capcom 4 was going to be revealed at the Game Awards. This was made by like a credible source. Apparently they had sourced a lot of stuff that had got like actually revealed. I don't have like the name of the person down, but they had like sourced a lot of stuff that really came to light. And so a lot of people thought, oh, this is pretty credible. This is actually probably going to be true, most likely. Now, we ended up not getting a Marvel vs. Capcom 4 trailer at Game Awards, obviously, but the idea of Marvel vs. Capcom 4 coming out while Tokon is still fresh was kind of weird to me, because I felt like, now they wouldn't do that when Tokon is still trying to get up there, right? That's originally what I thought, but it got me a little curious. Let's imagine a world where Marvel Tokon and Marvel vs. Capcom 4 are fresh amongst each other. I'm talking like one releases one year and then the next year the other releases, right? Like something that like they would announce Marvel 4 this year, right? While we're in Tokon releases, right? Imagine a world where both of them are fresh like that. It leads me to a curious question that I'd like to ponder on. And that is, can both Marvel Tokon and Marvel vs. Capcom 4 coexist together? And so before you guys say what you're gonna say, I'm gonna go ahead and speak my thoughts on it first, and I'll go ahead and bullet point to both of y'all. I think that it can. Now, the reason why I think Tokon and Marvel 4 can coexist is mainly for three reasons. First of all, I think Tokon and Marvel 4 coexisting together gives each game an opportunity to showcase different Marvel characters. Like maybe Tokon can have like Jubilee in the game, but Marvel 4 probably won't, right? Or maybe Marvel 4 will have Cyclops, but Tokon won't. Please put Cyclops in Tokon, okay? Just an example. But the idea of like them having different characters with each game could make both games appealing for, you know, Marvel fans in general, because you'd be like, okay, well, wait a minute, this game has this character, I'd like that, or this game has that character, I'd like to, you know, see that. So I think characters is the one distinction. The other part about it is obviously the different styles of gameplay and mechanics. Tokon is obviously a game that isn't quite a Marvel vs. Capcom game in terms of gameplay. There's like ABC, you know, launcher, you know, team game stuff. It has some skeletons from Marvel, but it's very much trying to be its own thing. And so because of that, obviously the game is going to have its different audience. There's still probably going to be Marvel vs. Capcom players interested in the game, of course, but I think in terms of gameplay, Marvel vs. Capcom 4 and Tokon, if we're gonna be honest, they're gonna be different. So I think that like because of the different styles of gameplay mechanics and the different characters, I do think that both of them can coexist and not one will be affected over the other as somebody might think. But what do you think about it? First, I would say, you know, because Zeta Slow is our special guest here, I give him an opportunity to go ahead and say his thoughts first. You know, let's hear it out.
I will definitely oblige you. So honestly, yeah, I definitely think they can coexist, like largely, just because not only is like Tokon seems very interesting to me, because it seems like it's in a weird spot, because it's a Western style, you know, Western style heroes, but it seems like it's trying to appeal a lot more to like the East.
Yeah.
And then I feel like Marvel itself, Marvel versus Capcom, I feel like is an Eastern game, but it's made and it feels like it appeals more to the West. That's just kind of my temp check on it, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that kind of reflects a little bit more, especially in like the tournament scenes and spaces, right?
Yeah.
But then also I feel like one of the things that I feel like you see with Tokon is it's a much more grounded game. You're on the ground a lot more than not. And in Marvel, I picture you're really high up. Like I picture Marvel 2 more than I picture Marvel 3 when I think of what is ideal Marvel to me personally. That's definitely like a big pool. And then I liked what you said earlier with like the different characters that they could use, because I feel like some characters would definitely be like great. Like I honestly really want to see, I know we'll probably get Hulk, right? Hulk's a given. But I really want to see what a Juggernaut looks like in Tokon because that is a grounded game. Like I feel like you're very threatened. Like I've seen what they've done with Potemkin, bro. I've seen what you've done for others. What can you do for me? But then like yeah, that too. So it's like I feel like they can create different types of threats with each style of game. And then finally, I don't know if you guys have seen it. Like you guys probably seen it on Twitter. The one guy who's recreating like the old Bingus art in like a modern style. I feel like it would be really cool if you did like a Marvel game in that style. That'd be really, really cool. Like they had like the Spider-Man they made.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
The old Marvel 2 sprite, but with like the Bingus style. So they go for some really different style choices too.
As far as the East-West thing, I actually didn't think about that much. It does feel like, because I know Marvel vs. Capcom generally has always been more popular here in America. A lot more than it is in Japan, at least from my experience. I don't know for sure, but it always felt that way. And Tokon definitely feels like the chance for us to see a lot more of a JP presence in a Marvel fighting game. And yeah, of course, like with the Juggernaut thing, I mean, like, I think that's the thing with Tokon is that like it gives the opportunity now for people to actually find that like appeal of like seeing these Marvel characters in this Arc System Works style. I think that's really what's gonna set Tokon apart from also a Marvel vs. Capcom 4 too, is the flashiness of the looks of these characters that Arc System Works is gonna try to do. Like, I don't even know how Juggernaut is gonna potentially look in a Tokon game, like, because I know they're not gonna give him his old design. They're gonna give him some kind of flash. So that'd be cool to see too.
So it's not that they can't coexist, in my opinion. It's not that they can't coexist. I think the issue is one taking precedence over the other. That's more of my trepidation, because like there's a world where Blaze Blue and Guilty Gear exist, right? Like right now. Obviously there isn't a newer Blaze Blue, but CF still gets played, AC still gets played. Obviously there's Strive and Xer, like all the games, they all get played, right? But I think for some reason, like in my mind, I see more people going towards the Capcom side. And for no other reason other than Capcom, right? There's nothing else to it. It's when people hear Marvel versus Capcom, it's an automatic, you're gonna beeline that way. Where so like, from what I'm noticing on my own YouTube and just kind of poking around myself, is like a lot of people are happy that it's Marvel, but a lot of people are not happy that it's not Marvel versus Capcom.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a mixed bag. Naturally, I think they'll both have their audiences, but I can't help but think that most people will gravitate more towards the Capcom side of things. If not for legacy sake, you know what I mean? I think Tokon, even in this regard, will still have its audience. It's still gonna have its player base, 100% for sure. I do like the idea that they do have separate characters. So like, let's say, as you mentioned earlier about like the different character choices, like I could imagine Tokon being more like, since it's just Marvel and there's no Capcom characters, obviously you can just focus on Marvel characters. But with that being said, this one could be more X-Men focused, while Marvel vs. Capcom 4 could be more MCU focused. So I can kind of see a world where that exists also. So like, you're right, like if you want to play Jubilee, you gotta play Jubilee in this game. If you want to play Juggernaut, you gotta play Juggernaut in that game. That does unfortunately split the player base, but I don't think it will hurt the tournament scene. I don't think it will hurt, like I don't see it hurting too bad, but I just cannot unsee MVC4 getting more shine than Tokon. And mind you, when I say that, it's just for Capcom. It's not that Arc just isn't a household name at this point, right? Especially with how people have been pushing since Fighters for Arcs to make, you know, other titles. So it's crazy. But like, you know, it's such a big opportunity here for Arcs to really prove themselves to the audience. But like, if Capcom gets a hold of it and does Marvel 4, it's hard to imagine a world where it doesn't get overshadowed. It's hard to imagine a world where Tokon does not get overshadowed.
Marvel vs. Capcom, of course, is a 20 plus year long running video game franchise that obviously has a huge legacy to it. Tokon itself is inspired by Marvel vs. Capcom. When you have the top dog coming around town, it's definitely gonna be like, oh, it's Marvel vs. Capcom, the big thing.
Right.
And if we're being honest, like Marvel 4 is definitely gonna have that hold on people.
It will.
More than Tokon. Right, like I said, we all are in agreement that they can coexist. But I think that with Tokon, I think because Tokon is gonna be more of a standalone title, and it's not gonna be. I don't see Arc System Works really building off of that. Making like a Marvel Tokon 2 or 3 or whatever in the future. But I think that's gonna be at least the main thing that Tokon is gonna have to do, and his big thing is at least making itself a standalone title that while it won't turn into a franchise like Marvel vs. Capcom. It could at least be a Marvel fighting game that people can remember and love, and in that way, that would show that it could even more coexist because it's a game that could stand 2 toes on its own right. So yeah, I definitely feel that 100%.
I will add this. For that game to stand tall next to Marvel vs. Capcom 4, it unfortunately has to match the crazy of what MVC4 will have to offer. It isn't a matter, and this is going to be something for, I know that someone in the comments is going to mention this, and we don't want it to be that way. It's not that I'm saying the game needs to have Magneto flying around, or Storm flying around, or Sentinel stomping in your face. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you can have a crazy game on the ground. MVC3, I mean, some of the best characters, Virgil, grounded based character, but because he can teleport around, he can combat all the characters that fly in the air. So like, and that makes me a little concerned about the other characters coming into the game that have flight modes and stuff like that. But if it can match the crazy of that while still maintaining its current pace, it'll be fine. Because like, most people would expect an MVC4 to be like Magneto tri-dashing all day, Storm tri-dashing all day, Sentinel stomping in your face, Cable shooting you and your Bishop shooting you. Like, I can imagine people wanting to see some of that too, but like, I think the beauty part, and I will say this is probably the one thing, and this is the caveat I meant to mention, and I apologize, about Tokon in particular. There are those, a big reason why they can also coexist is because there's going to be those that want the crazy and those that want the crazy but tame.
Yeah. Yep.
So you will get both audiences.
Yeah.
So now I'm kind of retracting a little bit.
See, yeah.
I think Capcom will have the edge only because of legacy.
Yeah.
But outside of that, again, on my own YouTube, well, I don't want Tokon to be as crazy as Marvel because I couldn't keep up, Like, the neat thing about Tokon is it takes the spectacle of a team fighter and kind of brings it.
Compresses it.
Yeah. Like, it brings it back down. You don't got to worry about. I'm not getting into it. We already know what that is.
We already know. We had this conversation before.
We had conversation before. Right. So I feel like as long as that part exists, and like I said, it does not have to be super duper triangle jumps. Just the pacing of Tokon, if it can match it. That's more of what I'm trying to say. Like, the pacing of the crazy needs to kind of match so they can coexist even better, because part of the issue is, like, let's say that there is, there's going to be tournaments for the games, right? I don't want to see people say, where's Marvel, and only support MVC4. It should be when's Marvel for both games.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's the part that kind of sort of needs to happen. So, but that's just me.
The whole thing with people, they compare Marvel Tokon with Marvel vs. Capcom, and I think those games shouldn't be compared in terms of like the gameplay aspect, but some people feel like, well, I don't want to see TODs, I don't want to see this, I don't want to see that, etc., etc. So obviously those games are going to have different audiences, but I think obviously Tokon isn't out yet, but depending on what they do with a lot more of the gameplay mechanics, the characters they release in Tokon, we could potentially be seeing some more, or them adding some crazy stuff in the game that could create some kind of balance with new and older players, while Marvel vs. Capcom 4 is going to have more of a presence. Regardless, I do think that Tokon itself will stand tall hella hard because the game is getting supported for 10 years.
Right.
So it's like
So is
anything.
that's confirmed?
Yes, it's
That's
confirmed. It's confirmed.
They
Yeah.
confirmed this since the last Evo.
Okay, I didn't know if that. I thought it was just a rumor mill thing. I didn't know that was like, oh.
Nah, they said it on the stage when they did the big round table with them at Evo.
Yeah,
I was
they
there
were.
for it.
Hands up, bro.
I said I was there in the crowd when I heard 10 years support. I was like,
Yep. 10 years support, like Street Fighter 2, like.
Hey, honestly, I mean, 10 years, that's a hefty commitment. But then also, I think not only with refining their game, are they going to see like what kind of like things they need to add and what things they need to change and things like that. Honestly, I think they're going to be looking at what's around them too, because we're kind of coming up on this huge tag era of gaming. All right, they like this about this game, they like this about this game. How do we integrate that in our game without messing up too much of what we got going on here? And I think it could keep up, and I think that's why, like, even if a Marvel 4 were to exist, they would find a way to go the opposite way, like go their own way, essentially.
Yeah, and then obviously, Arc System Works. Yeah, 10 years, and Arc System Works is known for whether people like it or not. There's definitely people who feel some type of way about it. Arc System Works is known to evolve the game as the seasons go on. Dragon Ball Fighters is like, it has come a long way since season 1.
100%.
That's a game. We'll just leave it at that. Grand Blue itself has come a long way since vanilla. Rising now. Strive itself is receiving a huge update this year, so that we can already tell it's gonna be a major overhaul. I mean, they're talking about like what new mechanics, new stuff like that. They're kind of talking about it as if it's gonna be a new game with Strive. So we'll see what's up with that. Prayers, right? Now that they're saying 10 years for Tokon, I mean, it's like Tokon can be like this at the start, and then like in the Tokon, it could be like we're looking at some Marvel's Capcom stuff at that point.
5 versus 5.
5 versus 5, or so.
Whoa, slow your horses.
Let's So Tokon definitely has some shoes to fill. It has some work to do in terms of like trying to be like next to Marvel, right? Because obviously, like they're going to coexist regardless, like we said, for it to be remembered for years down the line, right? It has to have like the characters people will want to see, characters that are obscure, right? Some really amazing gameplay mechanics, some fascinating grand finals, right? And tournaments and stuff like that, tournament highlight footage, all that stuff. As a video game, it has to be great in terms of offline content, netcode. Everything has to be really great about the game in order for it to really be up there with Marvel 4. But no matter what, I think it's definitely gonna go.
Totally.
For sure.
With that being said, this is a short little talk, you know what I'm saying? It's a 10 to 15 minutes, whatever, I just wanted to go ahead and get this out. I feel like this is something that I've been hearing people talk about a bit, if Marvel Tokon could coexist with Marvel 4, and I feel like I wanted to kind of lay down the thoughts on that in terms of what I feel and what some of you all, Kev and Zeta, feel on that. So thank y'all for pulling up through. Very short, like I said, but I really did enjoy this. Any last words that y'all have for people, the SSK minions? I'm gonna call y'all minions now.
The minions. Insane.
I like that. I like that. That's so good. I just need Green Goblin in the game, bro. I need Grenadoki.
Grenadoki.
Put the pumpkin in the corner and put the fries in the bag, bro.
Hey, I need to see Green. That would be one of the characters that would definitely make Tokon memorable. They put Green Goblin in there or Doc Ock. Yeah.
Okay, be careful. Dr. Octavius don't like.
Doc Ock doing some left, right, high, low stuff with the tentacles at the same time. Yo, we not ready for that, bro. Yo, that character.
Chill.
Yo, Doc Ock in a fighting game. All right.
I have been waiting for bro. I've been waiting for Dr. Octopus forever, bro. I'm like, Capcom, y'all gonna do it? No? All right.
Because he was supposed to be in Marvel 3, right?
He was. I would say for me, my little closing things here is like literally like please play more fighting games. Like if you're waiting for Tokon, Get in there. Every beta that comes out, get in there. Just remember to tell them what you think is wrong with it. Don't just play it. It's kind of went through some nonsense with that recently. Yeah. But the point is, like, don't just support the game blindly. I know you love Marvel. I love Marvel too. But like, make sure you let them know. You know what I mean? Support the game. I'm gonna be here with you guys playing it, just like these fine gentlemen here playing it. I don't know who it's gonna be. I'm gonna main. It was supposed to be like Doctor Doom is in the mix, but hey, they do Doc Ock. I'll do Doctor Octopus. You know what I'm saying? Doom, whoever. It don't matter. But I'm a PhD. I play all the doctors. You know I like that.
Man, look. You know what I'm saying?
Not ready. Not ready for Team PhD. But no, seriously. Support Tokon, man. Support Marvel. Support your fighting games. I ain't gonna say support your locals. Just support your fighting games. I don't care if you play competitively, casually. It doesn't matter. Just jump in, hit some buttons, and enjoy yourself. And that's all I got, man. That's all I got.
Definitely on the aspect of feedback for the developers really want people to have their feedback on this game. They're begging people to share their thoughts and words because, like I said, this game is going to be alive for 10 years. They have a plan. That's why I'm making the content that I'm making on my channel, because I want them to be able to see all sides of arguments, all sides of what people are talking about, and also be able to enjoy the aspects of the game that we all enjoy, and so that I can point out parts of the game that I like and parts of the games that we might dislike, and conversations that we could have about other games alongside Marvel Tokon, so that the developers can get an idea as to what the community's headspace is in terms of the FGC. But other than that, thank y'all for coming through. And Zeta, Kev, as always, gonna have you again, Zeta. Definitely enjoyed that, and hope y'all have a blessed day.
Peace.